Hello again, folks. Welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. We're going to do the preview of the Aberdeen game on Wednesday night. Let's say a quick hello to John. How are you, John?
I'm all right. How are you?
Okay, John. Just a short notice one. Just ask you to come on. We'll do a preview of the big game on Wednesday night. Massive game, John, into it. 3 points. I think it takes Aberdeen out of the running. I'm not saying we're champions with a win over Aberdeen, but I think it takes Aberdeen out of the running. What do you think, buddy?
Don't know. Hard to say. Watched Aberdeen against Hearts on Sunday there. Again, another disappointing performance by Aberdeen. They looked okay. They weren't great, but again, I thought Hearts were a better team. Just as Hibs, I thought, were maybe slightly better. St Mirren, much better. But at home against Aberdeen, it's going to be different because it's, they've got a fiery crowd behind them. It's going to be tricky up in Pittodrie. It always is tricky, no matter what. But we did predict that these 3 away games could possibly start the downfall of Aberdeen, and so far it's looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty poor results the last 3 games into it. The 2-1 defeat to St Mirren, 3-3 draw with Hibs, and the 1 each draw with Hearts at the weekend there. So yeah, John, I make that 2 points out of a possible 9, so no great for Aberdeen. So they'll know what they need to do against Celtic to keep themselves in the run for this title. I think if, and it's a big if, Celtic beat Aberdeen on Wednesday night, I think they can count themselves out of the league title, John. They're running for the league title. Obviously anything can happen, we know that. But I think with a win against Aberdeen on Wednesday night and Rangers win their game on Wednesday night, I think Rangers are only 2 points behind Aberdeen. So that's what I think anyway, John. So let's get into the big preview. Don Robertson, he's the referee, John, for this one. Don Robertson, he's not too bad a ref, is he, Don? I've seen worse. But it's Dallas on the VAR, John. So Pittodrie, tough place to go to decisions, going to VAR. We've got Dallas to look at them, John. So we just need to be very wary. Don't dive in the penalty box. Don't give away any silly free kicks. No stupid fouls, things like that, John, because of this Dallas on the VAR.
Aye, that's if Aberdeen get close to the penalty box, of course.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they will, because the player that I think one of their best players is it Jaden Morris? His name is Shaden or Jaden Morris.
Yeah, Shaden Morris.
The crack wee player, him. I really like him. He goes for the 90 minutes, really fast, really direct. So he's a right winger, of course. So he'll be up against whoever's playing at left back for Celtic.
Yeah, predictions very soon. So let's quickly go through the players to watch. And they've got a very decent squad, Aberdeen, but just a few off the top of my head. Morris, like you said there, John Shinnie, Nielsen, good solid midfielder, Nielsen, isn't he? Polvara, Nesbitt, Clarkson, Duke, John, they're just a good team, Aberdeen. They really are. So we really, really, really need to be on top of our game. But they've been on top of our game since the season started, John. So we're just looking for that to continue.
Well, aye. I mean, the last time we were concerned about Aberdeen, we scalped them 6-0. So you've got to take that into consideration as well. I mean, it's Celtic they're up against. And look, they've got a lot of good players in their team. I do like Clarkson. He's their left-sided winger. He's a direct wee player, and I quite like him. Shaden Morris on the right. Shinnie, of course, in the centre of the park. He's a wee bulldog in there, isn't he, Shinnie? So they rested him against Hearts. But they brought him on for the last, I think, half hour or something like that. But he had little time to really do anything. But aye, they've got a lot of good players, Aberdeen. One of the ones you just mentioned, of course. But it's a tricky tie up in Pittodrie. Aberdeen, I mean, they've only lost 1 game against St Mirren in that 3-game run they had. But that was 3 away games they had. No wins. Celtic, they haven't lost a game this season. So it's looking good for Celtic, I think.
Yeah, we're touching the odds very soon, John, because the odds back up what you've just said, John. Bookmakers fancy Celtic, obviously, the team on form in Scotland, didn't they? So let's have a wee look at the injury list for both teams then, John. We'll start with Aberdeen. Big Mitov, the goalkeeper, John, he's out. good goalkeeper, Mitov. Obviously, we put 6 past him in the 6-0 game, John. So he is a decent goalkeeper, but John Big Mitov, he's out for this one, John. So Ross Doohan, he'll come in to replace Mitov. McGarry, he's out as well, John, and Guaye as well, he's out. So 3 injuries for Aberdeen. Celtic, on the other hand, no injuries, John, apart from,
His name again?
Thiago Home.
Thiago Home, aye.
Yeah, he's out, John. I don't know what's happened to that boy. As I said on one of the previous podcasts, I just think Thiago Home really needs to bulk up a wee bit, John, because he is a decent wee player. If he bulks up a wee bit extra strength, you maybe see a player there. And obviously, the lack of game time is going to affect Home as well, John.
Well, he's not played for a long time, Thiago Home. But I can't see him getting into the Celtic team in the future. I think that's one that will be sold on. I don't think Brendan sees much in the boy at all. He's not did anything to impress, really. So, look, he's not played a game, so we're not going to miss him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We want every player to succeed at Celtic, but some players don't make it, John. That's just a fact, isn't it? So, and just cutting away from the Aberdeen game for a wee second, John. I've noticed we're now in the second, is it the 2nd, the 3rd of December? I'm not too sure what the date is, but we're into December anyway, John, and I've not heard one single rumour for the January transfer window. Normally at this time you hear this guy's linked, he's a possibility, Celtic should go for him. I've heard absolutely nothing, John, so Brendan must be very happy with the squad that he's got.
No, I think you'll hear rumours the closer to January it gets. But Brendan always wants to add to his squad, and I'm sure there will be a couple of additions. I'm quite certain of that, especially if Celtic are looking good for our last 16 place in the Champions League. I think you might see another couple of signings, Zander. Like you says, though, there's no links so far. But maybe just a wee bit early for that. The rumours will start soon, trust me.
No, well, I've looked at the other club rumours, John. They're flying, Rangers, Aberdeen, Hibs, Hearts, they've all got these players linked to their clubs already, John. And normally at this time of the year, there's plenty of rumours circulating. It's only 3 weeks to the window opens, just over 3 weeks to the window opens, John. So absolutely nothing on the Celtic front. I think that's quite strange, because I definitely think we need to sign another striker or centre forward, John. I think we need another central defensive midfielder as well, and possibly another right back, John. What do you think?
Another right back. Well, we've got a crack left back there, obviously, Alistair, and we've got Anthony Ralston, of course. But you think maybe Anthony Ralston could do with replacing, and a central midfielder? I think we've got enough quality there. Maybe I think we maybe just have enough quality there. But if one of them gets injured, there's no cover. So I see where you're coming from with that. Aye.
Yeah, central defensive midfield, John, because you look at what happened to Callum at the weekend game there against Ross County. He came off, it meant to put Arnie Ingles in the defensive midfield role. So I just think we need a wee bit extra cover in that central defensive midfield role. As regards to the right back, yeah, Alistair, he's the first pick, obviously. But I just think we need a wee bit extra strength in the backup. Anthony is a decent right back. Of course he is, John. But, I think if we've got, like over at left back, we've got 2 quality left backs. But I think at right back, we just need that wee bit extra quality in there, John. And up front, as you say, John, either Kyogo, any one of them can get injured at any time. I think we need an extra striker as well. So, but I've heard absolutely nothing in the rumour mill, absolutely nothing whatsoever. Checked everywhere, John, all the usual places you go to for your rumours, and there's nothing. So the way I look at that is that Brendan is just happy with the squad he's got.
If he'll not be happy with the squad he's got, he always wants to add quality to the team. So I don't know. It's Celtic we're talking about, isn't it? Better late than never kind of thing. Celtic's always late with this stuff. But like you says earlier, we're normally linked with 1 or 2 players at this time of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, John, let's park that now and let's get back to the big game. I just thought I'd mention that because I was checking it earlier and I thought, normally there's at least 1 or 2 in there linked. Okay, let's get to the betting for the big game against Aberdeen up at Pittodrie. Cold winter's night up there, freezing cold, blowing a gale probably as well. So I've not done a weather forecast. So Just be careful, every Celtic supporter that's heading up there on Wednesday night. Betting, John, we've got Aberdeen at 15-2. I make that between 7 and 8-1 for Aberdeen at home. I think that's a massive price because, up until the last couple of games, John, Aberdeen were absolutely flying, weren't they? So 15-2 Aberdeen the win, 4-1 the draw, and 4-9 the Celtic win, John. So roughly 1-2 the Celtic win. I find that a wee bit strange on Aberdeen 8-1 at home against the champions. I know Celtic are absolutely flying, team on form, putting everybody to bed. But because Aberdeen have been playing so well, I thought maybe 8-1 was a bit too big a price.
That is massive for Aberdeen at home. And they're second in the league. So that is a big price, that 8-1. But look, form predicts the bookies, that's where they get their predictions from, is form. Celtic haven't lost a game this season, apart from Dortmund, of course, but that's nothing to do with the league. Celtic's won every game in the league apart from a draw against Aberdeen. But there you go, Aberdeen took a draw off us at Celtic Park, Zander, so that tells you all about how good they are. Then again, that was Celtic's own doing.
Yeah, Celtic put the tools away that day, John, didn't they? But it was always going to be the case that Aberdeen were going to fall away. That was always what both of us said, John, and that's exactly what's happened. But we're still quite early in this season, and we really are. There's only 13, 14 games gone, if even that. So we're still quite early in the season. There is still time for Aberdeen to turn it around. If they beat Celtic on Wednesday night, John, it's a different story, isn't it? So we can just hope, that Celtic, that the proper Celtic turn up, John, the Celtic that put teams to bed in the SPL. As I say, John, Aberdeen's last few games, 2-1 loss against St Mirren. Aberdeen won. That's sort of nowhere near that one. I don't know if the conditions played a hand in that. Remember that day it was snowing, it was ice cold outside, it was just terrible. In fact, some of the games were in doubt that day, if you remember, and Aberdeen struggled against the Saints. Then it was a 3-3 draw against Hibs. I didn't see that one, John. You've seen that one. You said it was a brilliant game. So Aberdeen, there's still got goals in them, John, because there's not been a game out of these three where they haven't scored, and then the one at the weekend there, one each against Hearts. So, John, they've got goals in them. So just the defenders need to be wary of that.
Definitely get goals in them, aye. They're a good attacking team, Aberdeen. I was watching them at the weekend and they were playing against a very, very tired-looking Hearts team. Remember, they're just back from Europe on the Thursday. They had 2 days rest and then they played Aberdeen. It was I wouldn't say Hearts played them off the park. It was kind of evens. Maybe Hearts edged it. But the Hearts players, 2 injuries that I think in the first half it was. 2 players just dropping down injured, So, Aberdeen, I think, were quite lucky to get out of there with the point.
Yeah, well, let's hope they don't carry as much luck on Wednesday night, John. Let's hope it's like I said in the preview of the Ross County, an early goal settles the nerves. We got that early goal, the nerves were settled, and we buried Ross County in the first half. I was looking for a similar sort of thing, John, in the Aberdeen game, an early goal, and then maybe get another one, possibly 2 before half time, and that just settles everything down. But it's Aberdeen, John, it's no Ross County, so we just need to wait and see, which brings us on to the predicted lineup, John. Again, interesting. It's always interesting, the new, isn't it? Because he's chopping and changing all the time, Brendan. He's changing the team quite a lot. The Arnie Engels debate last week, he dropped him, didn't he? Will he be back? Then you've got, will it be Eder again, who played a blinder against Ross County at the weekend? Will he return with Kyogo? John, it's down to you, I'm afraid. What's your predictions, buddy?
It's not going to be Eder. It's going to be Carter Vickers, Scales, Trusty. Carter Vickers and Trusty with Greg Taylor, Alistair Johnson, centre of the park, Hatate, Callum McGregor. And I'm hoping Paulo Bernardo. I'm going to go for Paulo Bernardo. He deserves to start. There's also a good shout for Luke McCowan, of course. Brilliant on Saturday. So there's a good shout for him as well. But I'm going to go for Paulo Bernardo, Callum McGregor and Rio Hatate in the centre of the park. Up front, Maeda, Kyogo and Nicholas Kuhn. And the reason I'm saying Kyogo is because, obviously, he missed the game against Ross County. I think Brendan was keeping him nice and fresh, Zander.
Yeah, I think so as well, John. And I think Arnie's going to start as well, John. But I'm not going to put him in my predicted lineup. A couple of changes for you, John. I'm going to go with Alex Valley at left back. I'm going to go with the two centre backs you said, Trusty and Vickers, which is a shame for Big Scales because he also played an absolute blinder, John. But we could be wrong. We could be wrong. Scales might start. And then on the right, it's going to be Alistair, Callum in the holding role. Rio Hatate, I'm going to go with Luke McCowan, John, Izamida, Kyogo. Yeah, I agree with you that, John. I think Kyogo will start, and Nicholas will return as well, John. We missed his dazzling footwork at the weekend, and we didn't miss him as regards to the result, but we missed watching his scintillating play, John. His stylish play. But the rest of the lads that were on that park made up for it, I suppose.
We seem to forget that Kuhn and Kyogo were missing against Ross County, and we absolutely scalped them. It's going to be a full strength Celtic team. Brendan's rested a few players getting prepared for the Aberdeen game. Aberdeen didn't rest anybody. They rested Shinnie, I think. I think that was it. And they brought him on for half an hour when they were kind of struggling. So I think it's going to be a full strength squad. The best and strongest possible squad Brendan can pick, that's who's going to play.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, John. Fair enough. Have you scored prediction off you, buddy?
It's tricky up there. Aberdeen have got goals in them. And if Celtic get an early goal, I'm thinking 3-0. Aberdeen could collapse with an early Celtic goal. But I'm going to go for a close game. I'm going to go for a tight one. And I'm going to say 3-1 Celtic.
Yeah. It's always tough up there, John, until we get that first goal into it and then things start to settle down. I'm going to go with the clean sheet. I'm going to go 2-0, John, even though Aberdeen, they do have goals in them, didn't they? But yeah, no, 2-0 for me. And as I keep saying, I say it every time, John, it doesn't matter. 3 points, get them on the board. Because, John, if we beat Aberdeen, Rangers do have a tricky game against Kilmarnock, even though it's at Ibrox. That's not a gimme for them either. Look how much they struggled against St Johnstone at the weekend. They're John 1-0. It's no Nice they're playing now, John. You've got to remember, it's no Nice. It's battling teams in the SPL, John, and Kilmarnock are definitely a battling team.
Definitely, aye. Look, it was Nice C team that they were playing. Anybody that denies that's an idiot, playing wee boys and all that stuff. So, they're not playing a bunch of wee boys that's never played together before. They're playing against a well-drilled, well-organised, battling Kilmarnock side. So, that's a tough game. And Aberdeen are obviously, if they get a result against Celtic, we're still top of the league with a game in hand. So, it's all good the way things are looking right now, Zander.
Yeah, we're very far ahead, John. And a win just cements that on Wednesday. It really does. Let's have a look at the results at the weekend there, John. I'll quickly run through the Saturday ones first. So just very, very quickly, because just as a wee reminder, we had Dundee United beating St Mirren 2-0. We had Kilmarnock drawn 1 each with Dundee. So they head to Ibrox after a draw. Motherwell 0, Hibs 3. Decent result for Motherwell, wasn't it? Very decent. For Hibs, sorry. Very decent result. And then on Sunday we had St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1. That was Holt, John, ex-Ranger Holt, that scored the own goal. And, John, I watched the last 10 minutes of this, and with 5 minutes to go, I know that means absolutely nothing, but I'm going to mention it anyway. With 5 minutes to go, Holt is getting taken off, and he's over the opposite end of the dugout, the very far end of the park, on the other touchline, John. And instead of, coming off at the other side of the touchline, he walks right across the park. Takes about 50 seconds for him to walk across, John. He come 3 or 4 minutes to go, and St Johnstone are looking for an equaliser. And he takes a minute off the game by the time it took him to get off the park. Gary Holt, is it? Is it Gary Holt? I can't remember the guy's name. Holt, anyway, John. So he scored the own goal and then taking a minute to walk off the park when they're pushing for an equaliser. Rangers are just dreadful, John. And Hearts Aberdeen 1 each. Decent draw, John, for both teams. Hearts still rock bottom of the league. What do you think of that, John? Think there's a chance they could get relegated?
Hearts getting relegated? I don't think so. Hearts are a good team. I think the fact that they're playing in Europe right now is kind of hampering them with their performances in the league. I think they look tired when they play, and they got a good draw against Aberdeen as well. I think they should have won that game. I think they'll come good eventually because I think they're new. It's no easy when you're playing a league game, then a European game, then a league game a couple of days later. It's no easy on the players, that is it?
No, it is very, very tough. You need a big squad, don't you? For that, John. But I don't think Hearts have got a big squad. They have got decent players, like you say, John, but you need a big squad like Celtic to cope with that, John. But they haven't got that, so they could be in trouble. Maybe the sooner they're out of Europe, the better for them. Possibly, John. I don't know, but anyway, John, that was your results. And by the way, it's Jason Holt, isn't it, that scored the own goal for Rangers to give them the free.
I know who you were talking about. I couldn't mind his name either. Gary Holt was the ex-Hibs player, wasn't
he? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he was a decent player, actually, Gary Holt. So, yeah, okay, that wraps that up, John. We've done the predictions. We've done the score prediction as well. Just a wee quick sum up for you, buddy. How do you think this one's going to go on Wednesday night? Do you think it's going to be a nice early goal, nice and easy? Do you think it's going to be a battle? Do you think it's going to be a battle to the end? Is there a chance we could drop points? What's your thoughts, buddy?
Generally speaking, Celtic have got a fantastic record up at Pittodrie as well. So I think it is going to be a battle. Aberdeen's not going to sit back. They're going to want some kind of revenge or some rise in performance compared to the one they had at Hampden when they get scalped 6-0. They're not going to forget that. They want to show how good they are. And they're going to come at Celtic. They're going to try and get the win. But what they've got to watch, and they know as well as anybody, they try and attack Celtic too much, they're going to get badly exposed with Celtic's pace up front. So they might need to be a wee bit more cautious than they believe, So I think Aberdeen, they've got to show a cautious side because they can get absolutely destroyed, as we've seen Hampden, Zander.
Yeah, that's it, John. And they will be very, very wary of that, wouldn't they? Absolutely, it's just lovely to watch Celtic the new John into the flying machine. They really are. Quick run through the fixtures in midweek then, John. As I say, this is the games in hand for the teams that were in Europe. So, are the teams that didn't play last midweek. These are the teams that are playing this midweek. We've got Dundee against Motherwell, John. We've got Rangers against Kilmarnock, and we've got Aberdeen against Celtic. So that's your fixtures for the midweek, folks. All we can say is good luck to Celtic. We quick mention the competition as well, John, before we go. Done the draw earlier, and Paul McComb, is it, John?
Aye, Paul McComb, aye.
Paul McComb has won the prize this week. So congratulations, Paul. You've won the prize. Just get over to Messenger and send me a private address on Messenger because it's only me that will receive it. So send us your address on Messenger, Paul. We'll get that prize sent out to you. The Green Brigade metal wall plaque, that is yours. So congratulations, buddy. And get your entries in for next week's competition. That is Celtic versus Hibs at Celtic Park on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. We're looking for the correct score and any goal scorer in the match. More than one correct entry, it goes to a draw, and that's to win your choice of Celtic Legends metal wall plaque. Right, John, that covers it. We've done it. That's the preview of the big match. We'll do a post-match on Thursday because it'll be too late Wednesday night. I'll probably be in my bed. So Thursday we'll do the post-match, John. Thanks for coming on tonight, buddy. I appreciate that. And we'll catch you on Thursday.
Ed, after a Celtic Aberdeen game, drinking me like.
Party.
Well, you don't know. We'll wait and see then. Anyway, Zander, I'll see you Thursday. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, John. Catch you later. Bye-bye.